Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hof Bergmann Explained video. Today we're going to summarize the changes that are available in the 1.4 update. We're going to be doing a deeper dive into many of these topics in subsequent Hof Bergmann Explained videos as the days go by. But for now, we're just going to hit on the highlights. And one of the first things we want to talk about is that a new street texture has been implemented in the 1.4 update for most of the major roads. In addition, additional terrain angles have been added, so if you are plowing or doing field work, you will see a smoother transition with respect to the turns. Many of you know that there used to be a old wood chipper here, a small wood chipper, as well as some decorative elements related to working with wood. They have all now been removed from underneath this lean-to, and now you can just use it for storage. Clover fermented has been removed as a fill type for your feed mix, and the addition of a farm shop has been implemented here at the primary farm, and this is a location where you are going to be able to store the products that you produce. You see here kind of a listing of those products. Of course, it's in German, which is not going to be helpful for some of us. But just know that basically anything that you can produce is going to be available to sell here at the farm shop. And the way it's going to be set up is pretty neat. Is as you bring the products here, you're going to basically sell it, and you're going to see the products show up in the display cases, on the racks, and everything. And then over time, those products are going to vanish. They're basically going to vanish as if they're being sold, which I think is a pretty cool idea. In addition, with respect to bale storage, there are some new bale storages that have been added, and they basically go along the lines with all of the existing bale storages, and that all of the bale storages on the map are going to be hard-coded to Farm ID 1. In single player, that doesn't really mean anything to you. But in multiplayer, it's important to know that if you have additional farms, bale storages that may be located on those other locations that may be set up as additional farms or owned by other farm IDs, the bale storages themselves are going to be owned by Farm ID 1. The selling prices for the premium expansion crops in parsnips, carrots, and red beets have been increased as compared to the 1.3 version of the map. The area around the main farm has been slightly reworked in order to facilitate a bit more of a rural feel, according to the changelog, and as such, fields 2, 5, and 6 have been adjusted slightly. The cold storage facility, which we are taking a look at here, has been reworked to incorporate the standard Giants storage script. And as such, it now contains the ability to hold lots of other products. For example, we can have eggs, packed eggs, which is new for the 1.4 update, cheese, goat cheese, butter, strawberries, grapes, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, cauliflower, potato sacks, apples, onions, UHT milk, wine boxes, grape juice, packaged pork, beef, poultry, sheep and goat meat, chicken, beer, boxed and palleted, fish, as well as smoked fish, cherries, carrots, and spezel. Spezi. I know I butchered that. That's okay. The slaughterhouse has been reworked so that it not only produces animal hides, but it now also produces pallets of meat. Specifically, we are able to produce pallets of pork, beef, animal skin, like we could before, horse meat, poultry, sheep, goat, and rabbit meat. So just like before, you're going to bring your animals to the slaughter yard and unload them over here. And then, as we had with our pallets of animal hide, we're now going to have pallets of meat spawn. And I went ahead and just spawned in 4 pallets of rabbit meat just as kind of a visual description as to where those pallets spawn and what some of these unique new pallets are going to look like. Down at the community garden, we now have the inclusion of a small composter. This composter will accept organic waste, and over time, it will convert it to compost. Organic waste is going to consist of either grass, hay, eggs, strawberries, grapes, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, cauliflower, potatoes, apples, onions, manure. Organic waste and compost can also be put back into this facility for storage. In addition to having this one pre-placed here at the community garden, there is a placeable version that we find under build mode, tools. Then we have then for $100 a placeable composter. Now this composter will not appear in your production tab. It is still a production, but again, it's just going to happen over time. You're going to add organic material into it, and then it is going to slowly convert that into compost. To the west of the cherry orchard, we now have a hops plantation. Hops have been added as a full official crop in the 1.4 update. Of course, we've had a brewery for several updates, and in order to do our beer brewing, we had to purchase hop bales from the shop, but now we can grow our own hops and process those down at a new processing facility. Here we have the hops, just again west of the cherry orchard. Just like cherries, we cannot place additional rows of hops. This is going to be restricted to where we're going to be able to use those. And to facilitate harvesting those crops, we now have a new trailer. So under tools, we have hop technique. And from here, this is going to be the trailer we're going to use to harvest our hops. And the way this is going to work is we're going to run between the hop rows, and basically hops are going to appear stacked on this trailer. The yield and the capacity of this trailer has been configured such that you should be able to basically harvest 2 rows of hops per trailer load. Once you have harvested your hops from the hop plantation located just south of field 50, you're going to bring them over here to the hop processing area, which is just north of field 10 and across the street from the spinnery. Once you purchase this facility, you're going to deliver your hops to here. So to run through the machine, we're going to produce hop bales as well as organic waste. The organic waste is going to be piled up outside the building. In addition, we have storage for hop bales located in this building right here, where you can store up to 100 of the hop bales that you did produce. Down at the brewery, you can, of course, use those hop bales that you just produced at the hop production facility for brewing your own beer. But if you happen to not own the brewery, that is perfectly fine, because a sell point has been added just around back of the brewery for the sale of those hop bales which you have produced. Now, let's take a look at our prices screen, because you're going to see something that hops are extremely profitable. Price, this is again for 1,000 liters, and a bale of hops is 500 liters. So 2 bales of hops is going to bring you $12,000. Now, I know what you may be thinking. You may be thinking, well, I can buy 500 liters worth of hops for a mere $1,200. Then I could turn around and sell it for $6,000. No, that's not going to happen, because Farmer Andy has thought ahead, thought about your scheming ideas, and the hop bales that you purchase at the shop are technically a different fill type from the hop bales that are produced at your hop production. You can sell hop produced bales, but you cannot sell hop purchased bales. They are marked, and as such are tainted with respect to being able to sell them. Kind of a sneaky little way around it. The large poultry facility, which is just west of Field 24, has also been reworked. In fact, an additional poultry house has been added, Poultry House D, which is going to accept a very specific type of chicken. Chicken, not to be confused with the other types of chicken, which are available at all of the other poultry houses. Chicken. So I know this can be rather confusing because chicken and chicken are sounding like as if they're the same thing. Just like similar cows and cows sound similar, but are also very different. With regards to these chickens, the chickens that are accepted at Farm Building D are for meat. The chickens that are accepted at Farm Buildings A, B, and C, as well as the chicken coop at the main farm, are going to be for eggs. So we're going to be talking about meat chickens for the brief little bit. Meat chickens, which are going to be available in D, are going to accept the same food as our egg chickens are going to accept, which is going to be wheat, barley, corn, sorghum, and chicken feed. As you can see, they are very easily delineated here by chicken and chicken. Clearly, we know exactly which chicken we are looking at when we are looking at the two chicken entries. Meat chickens, which will reproduce, are going to be brought over to a little slaughterhouse facility at the chicken facility. And I have to say, based on what I see inside this room, it may not be child friendly because, well, apparently something very nasty happens in step 1, at which then it goes into step 2. Something happens in step 3, and then we get chickens that we can sell for meat as a result. With respect to the chickens that we're going to keep in buildings A, B, and C, the traditional chickens that produce eggs, well, the eggs have been reworked, so they no longer are produced in boxes, but instead they produce eggs very similar to the eggs at the chicken coop at the main farm, and that is eggs in small crates. Those crates can be brought over to the packing facility, which is located to the left in this new building, where they will then be further processed and packed into larger boxes that are then palletized by the use of the egg star. And then palletized eggs are going to be able to be stored over here in this cold storage room that's going to store a total of 56 pallets of eggs. And we're going to conclude our tour here of what is new in 1.4 with a talk about bull breeding. So a new bull breeding facility has been added to the map just south of the main farm, right here beside field 1. And from here, we're going to be able to grow and raise bulls. And ultimately, bulls are going to reproduce, and they're also going to produce something else. Something that we're going to refer to in this channel as bull juice. That's right, bull juice is back. So bulls have been separated out from the normal cows at the main farm, and we now have young bulls, the studs of all bulls, and more mature bulls. The bulls have been around for a while. Maybe they're not quite in their prime. We're going to be able to have 100 bulls in this facility. And really, you don't have a bull just for its looks. You've got a bull because it has some unique capabilities. And that is its bull juice. So once you are ready to start extracting said juice, you're going to bring it over here to this facility, and you're going to unload your bulls that you had in your barn over there into this facility. This one will hold up to 4 bulls at a time. And from here, bull juice will be extracted and placed into specific types of buckets, where it can then be stored in a refrigerator until you are ready to sell it. And you're going to be selling your bull juice down at the animal dealer. And with that, I think it's best that we maybe close out this video. This was just a high-level summary of what is coming, or what has come in the 1.4 update of Hof Bergmann. We're going to have much, much more information in deep dive videos for each specific topic. I've got deep dive videos planned for the changes at the poultry farm, the hops, the addition of bulls and its byproduct, as well as the changes in how we're going to make use of the compost down at the community farm and the placeable compost facility. Would love to know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to the changes that are coming or have come, I should say, to the 1.4 update of Hof Bergmann. Again, I do deeply feel that Hof Bergmann is one of the most revolutionary and evolutionary maps that have come to Farm Sim, across Farm Sim 17, 19, and 22. And until next time, happy farming.